Pleasure to talk to you. This is a really interesting show because everyone always kind of questions like how they survive when the apocalypse comes and everything too. And I was talking to Alexander, and I said my only problem was the fact that I didn't see a Costco because that seems like everyone's answer. It's always like the big box store to survive, and that's
Yeah,
that's where you're gonna live.
right.
Introduce us. Tell us a little bit about Charlie.
Yeah, I play Charlie, and he kind of joins the show. Actually, I think it's 15 or 17 years after we meet the other characters, and we've seen kind of how they've been surviving and how they've been making it through. And we meet Charlie and his crew at a moment where Ish and Emma are struggling. They're looking for water. They're desperate for some water, and so we meet Charlie and we think, oh, maybe this guy can help. Maybe he's the answer. Maybe his leadership is wonderful. And then we very quickly learn that that is not the case, and he's operating through kind of blunt force and taking advantage of people and manipulation, which is the opposite of what we've seen from our characters. And so it's very fun to kind of get to be that antagonist, and also with this project in particular to really push up against, I think, what the show is trying to say, which is, if we did this again, could we do it in a positive, loving, caring way? And so it was cool to kind of represent the other side of that.
And how did you talk to Todd about Charlie, or even about the humanity of it all? Because that's kind of where this all comes about. How do we create humanity in a vacuum?
Yeah, Todd was wonderful and so kind of encouraging and collaborative to me. And he basically wanted it. He told me he wanted it to look like, when Charlie shows up, is he the answer, right? Like, let's see. Is this the way? Is this the better way to go? Which is much more the way I think we see in human history, right? Of people taking advantage of other people and fighting and pushing through no matter what. And lying and cheating and stealing to get there. So it was fascinating to kind of get to do that. And but even within that, like, there's one line where Charlie mentioned something kind of that could be a throwaway about wanting to have kids, and Ish was so lucky, and something like that. It's, for me as an actor, it's like, oh well, there's actually some deep rooted pain there that has something else going on that maybe we're not seeing. And so I don't know. It was very complicated and layered, but on the most part, it was wonderful to kind of get to push that agenda up against the real love and humanity of the show.
And you can actually come a little bit later in the show. Did you come later to the shoot than everyone else? Did that help you in the idea of coming in as the outsider a little bit later in the process?
Yeah, I started a few weeks after they had already been shooting, and sometimes that can be tricky because the show is kind of already up and running and has their own rhythm, and you have a job to do and you have to come in, but it's sometimes hard to jump on board, and especially with a part like this that the guy really bulldozes everyone around him. So I was very, very lucky that Alexander and Jess and everyone else were so welcoming and gracious to me and kind of allowed me to come in and do that, because you'd be surprised, it's not always the case. And so they were wonderfully generous to me to allow me to kind of come in and jump right in, and they were so welcoming, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
In my mind, I think there's also kind of like a alternate reality opportunity where, let's say, the Earth ends and then this new Earth, Shmigadoon. It could just be that's the next option. Like, okay, you know what? We got to be better humanity. It's all going to be in song, and that's the way we're going to go too. So, is it hard to like come out to this new thing and not want to break into song? Because you're part of, like, they're trying to show nature and quietness and all this other stuff too.
Well, it's funny. I found myself in those things often, as you're mentioning, right? There's a lot of nature and quietness in Shmigadoon, and we start singing. So, no, listen, it's I did get to sing a little bit. I do get to sing a little bit of that Oasis tune where I'm teaching the kids the song. So, no, listen, I'm so fortunate that I get to kind of jump back and forth between these genres. But I'm a huge fan of things like this. I read tons of science fiction and fantasy, and so I really was excited for the opportunity to be a part of a project like this.
So I had to ask, the world ends. Everyone's like, okay, this is what I can do. What do you bring to the table that someone's like, I can fly a plane. I can do this. What does Aaron bring to the table?
I think I'm very I think I'm very organized. I think I could get us somewhere. I have very good sense of direction. I've always been able to get places. If I've been somewhere once, I could get back there. So I think my sense of direction and my organization is a very good attribute in a post-apocalyptic world.
In a video game, I think you're the scout. Is that a scout? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I'll go scout. Exactly.
All right, we'll just watch out for lions and tigers and bears and everything else out there too. So, well, very cool. Well, we're gonna look forward to this. Is there anything that you were really excited about when it came to this script that made you like really excited? Because it seems like it's such an interesting take on the world at large. How much the Earth kind of just keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that. I think people can talk about how we're destroying the planet, but I think the planet will take care of us and get back to normal. So if we need to get ourselves together if we want to make it here. But this show, I just thought I've never seen something like this, right? I think we're so used to, running from a zombie apocalypse or running from an alien or something. So to have something where it's like we're just up against human nature. I think I was very moved by the script and by the idea of these people really having to come together to survive. And yeah, I think that's the most exciting thing about it.
Very cool. We'll make sure to talk about it with everybody else. The only thing that's still in my head, of course, is just using the word abides always connects me to the dude. I don't know why. Right. It's just part of
the dude abides and the earth abides. That's it.
Yeah, the earth abides. Yeah, I'll look for that t-shirt. Thank you much. You have a good day.